we're here with Ed, longtime friend and fan of my channel, I think. And we're also here with Cimo.
What's going on, guys? It's Cimo. We have the one, the only Mr. Ed Acepcion here, who just made top 32 at YCS Dallas. What were you playing, Ed?
I was playing a hand trap deck.
Hand trap deck.
Yeah.
And you were one of the only 4 people that
It was 29 spirals, 2 trick stars, and me.
Okay. So
yeah.
what? Okay, because I remember, like, I was talking to you on Facebook, and I saw your post on Facebook. You were playing like Psy-Frame at first, and then you were playing like all this other shit. So like, what made you like ultimately decide to play this?
I think Spiral is like super fragile. Like it loses to like every hand trap, and I wanted to play like a 1-card engine deck, a deck that I can play like 15 hand traps in, and then just 1 card can progress my game to where I can win. So I thought Invoked was like the best strategy.
So the question I have is, before the event, you told me if you won the die roll, you were choosing second.
Yes.
Did that actually?
I went second every single time.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
And we're about to see why.
Yeah. Okay, so it's hand trap deck. So I play 1 Max C, 2 Ogre. So it's kind of weird. So I play like 2 ofs of random hand traps because it's like, I think diversity in hand traps is like super important. Because if you draw 2 of the same against Spiral, they can keep playing. But if you draw like 2 different ones, you're always gonna stop them. I only had 2 Gamma, so 2 Gamma.
Did you ever draw those?
Yeah, no, Gamma's insane. Gamma is the best hand trap like out right now. Like it's good going first, good going second. Like if your opponent doesn't respect it, you win the game. Like if they ash you, then you Gamma and then you make a Omega, and then it's better because it's a light, so it's like super broken.
So you would have played 3 if you had a 3rd.
Yeah, most likely.
After seeing you choose second, were your opponents then letting you go first at all?
Round 8, I played against ABC. He let me go first, but I just made him a Kaba, and then he just lost. Like that's the biggest issue. Then more hand traps, 3 cherries. It's like this overperformed when in testing. It underperformed. Like the problem is if they have machine dupe, you lose because they can still make it like insane boards. But like this card's just like game. Like whenever you resolve it against Spiral, it's good against ABC, and it's bad versus like this deck is really bad versus Magician. But I side like 9 cards for that deck, so that's why I do it. And then this card is just good against Spiral and ABC. 3 Ash. I think this is the 2nd best hand trap. It's the most versatile. It stops like everything, and it's fire, which is a handy thing for my deck. And then this card underperformed, but it won me a lot of games too. 3 Droll Lockbird. They still have like sometimes they just end on like Helix Master Plan, and that's like really hard to break through. So like this card just stops them. And like the thing is like all you have to do to beat Spiral is like you barrier them, you hand trap them, and then you just attack them with like Purgatrio or like summon Macabre, and the game's pretty much over.
So that's kind of similar to Zodiac.
Yeah. Well, I don't like a lot of people tell me don't compare to Zodiac.
Yeah,
but, like,
I know.
It's just a 1-card engine.
Yeah.
The win condition, 3 Alistair. You see him, you win, and that's pretty much it. He's super broken. Like there's some cards I play with him because if you set him and flip him, you search another invocation. So I do that a lot actually.
Yeah, you did that in the feature match.
Yeah, I did that in feature match. I summoned a Raging and I kept booking it face down. And I kept getting +1s out of him. He's like insane, and he's honest. Like the deck, I make fun of it a lot. It's like Bujin, where you summon a guy and you protect it, and then this is your Crane, and this is like the best Crane ever because he's the engine piece.
It's like a Yamato and a Crane.
Yeah, and then this is okay. So Driver, because I play the Psy-Frame card.
How often did you draw that?
I drew it a lot, but it's a light. That's the cool thing. So my other 2 cards I play, like it being an attribute is really important, and I've summoned it in funny ways, and I'll show it after. But yeah, then I play this card because it is a light card target for Gateway to Chaos, and then this card got a lot of people know about like siding Gateway of Chaos targets, but I went up them and I played Zafraxi, which searches Oracle's effort, and this won me 7 games, literally won me a game. Like I would search it out and then fuse with it because of the fire, or they would set rotation me, flip it, search fire, and then I just kill them because this is broken.
I wish I could have seen the looks on their faces.
Did that actually like work out in the actual tournament?
Yeah. Just because like the deck is all about Alistair, so if you don't see it, you lose. So that's the main reasoning. Then 3 Invocation. It's like the worst. So most people play 2, but it doesn't make sense when Ash exists, because if you summon Alistair, the correct time to Ash this deck is when you summon Alistair, because I might have Gamma and then you auto lose. So you should do it on the Alistair, and Yeah, so this punishes that play of people knowing how to play against the deck, because even in my future match, if you saw, I got ashed every game, but I hard drew it, and then it basically makes them play on like 4 cards.
Yeah. You banished all those with desires.
Yeah. In my top 32 match, I banished all these off desires, and I lost. So I played 12 Alistairs, so I played 3 Magical Meltdown. This card is broken because against Paleo, they can't Dark Bribe it, and that actually happened. They can't Dark Bribe Invocation. That happened. That really did happen. 3 set rotation. This is the best card in the format. Like, it's so obscene. Like this deck can afford to play bricks because you're playing a 1-card engine. So like if Spiral plays a set rotation and they can't search, then they lose. And if they play the brick and they draw it, they lose because that deck is just all 2-3 card combos. And set rotation is like an offensive, defensive card. There's been games where I just go set rotation and they just lose because they can't Spiral Resort. And 3 Terraforming. It's like the worst of all 3 because if you get drolled, it sucks. And then the bricks.
You played both.
Yeah, I played both. Yeah, because I wanted my set rotation to be live. Because there are multiple games where I double set rotation and they just lose. And there was a game where my opponent flipped Gateway of Chaos, searched the target, and then I was like, I bet you can't stop a second set rotation. And he did not play an Oracle set for target, and I won. So yeah, these cards have added value because so the problem with this deck is drawing too many Alistairs. But what this fixes is this turns into more attributes. So this can search a fire and this searches a light. So like once you see a copy of the Alistair, you can search your other combo pieces.
So it seemed like you were really focused on the fire. What does that guy do exactly?
The fire guy is Purgatrio. Basically, he just he's a Shura Priest and he pierces. So I play another card that is here. I'm gonna show it, and it's super combos with Purgatrio. But yeah, fun fact: Oracle of Zephyr has an effect when you fuse with a Zephyr monster, which says if you fuse with it, you get a special summon a monster. And I did this twice in the tournament, where I fuse and I special summon Driver and attack.
Broke.
So that's my sick combo.
Synergy.
And then you have to play. I think this is like the best card like ever. It's so good.
Except when it loses you.
Yeah, except when loses top 10, but it's a statistical anomaly. And
it got you 2 top 30.
Yeah, it got me top 50. Yeah, this card is just obscene. Like that's the biggest issue. Like I was trying to play a deck that plays this card because dude, it's pot of greed. Also, you're playing a 1-card engine, so you only need to see 1 Alistair. Yeah, baits Ash. That's another thing. And the other card that baits Ash, this is like the top tech. 3 Book of Eclipse.
Yeah.
So Book of Eclipse is here for multiple reasons. One, it breaks. Okay, so I don't really lose the Firewall. I lose the Baguska because Baguska is like ridiculous, and this outs Baguska. Also, it kills ABC Buster because when they tag out, I get to kill them with this guy Purgatrio. So if they tag out, they summon it, and then he gets to attack all of them and pierce. And then when I activate the Bujin Crane,
Alistair.
Yeah. I get to attack everybody and they all die.
Oh,
so,
the boost is just for the whole battlefield?
And this card also baits Ash. So like because it makes your opponent draw, like if they want to protect their board, they have to Ash, which means that Alistair resolves, and Alistair breaks like a lot of boards. And then this card is also good because when they Ash your Alistair, you can set it, and when they try to attack you, you Book of Eclipse, they can't attack anymore. It flips your Alistair, which lets you flip it up face again, search it, and then now because they Ashed you, and all their monsters in defense, it sets it up perfectly for Purgatrio. And that is my main deck, 20 spells, 20 monsters. So the odds of them hitting, Spiral Super Agents 50-50. Statistically, yeah. But, yeah. Then for my, do you want my side or my extra?
Whichever.
Okay, so here's my side deck. 2 Kaijus. This is for Draco, which is like a weird matchup. And this is for ABC. And this is like a catch-all. These are Earth and Fire. The light one was too big, so I couldn't play it. And I don't play the Water Fusion, so had to be these. You can also summon this off Oracle of Zephyr. 3 Cosmic Cyclone. I wish I main decked this card because I opted to go second every single time, and it's really good simplifying the game. And that I play no trap cards in the main, so my Macabre actually just dies to Utility Wire, and getting rid of Utility Wire or even the Field Spell is like broken because Raging against that deck is like so good. This is So like Cosmic Cyclone, I said Magician is the worst matchup. So like I side 9 cards for Magician. So 3 Cosmic Cyclone, 3 Evenly Matched, and 3 Magical Spring. So basically I side out like all 9 bad hand traps for all these cards, and I still go second. And if you Magical Spring them, basically you're just trying to draw into this. And when you resolve this, you win because the Baguska, they either keep Baguska or they keep like an Omega or something like that. And then you just, like, it's so easy to out because like Book of Eclipse outs that entire board.
So did you think about maining the evenly matched at all?
No, the problem with evenly matched is, one, obviously to like, if they have set rotation, evenly matched is like really bad. But like, the battle phase is like super important in this deck. So evenly matched, losing your battle phase isn't good enough. And then the thing is, evenly matched with hand traps is like it's not a combo because you hand trap them to make a bad board, and then evenly matched doesn't do anything. But when you have evenly matched, that means you didn't have a hand trap, and my deck is all hand traps. So I'd side evenly matched. Basically, this is for whenever Spiral sided traps, like they would side like anti-spell stuff like that, and I could just like kill it all. It was like a giant giant heavy storm. It was good against Paleo, good against Invoked, and not Invoked. What's that deck called? True Draco and Magician. And then 2 system down because it's just good against ABC. Like basically, like with the deck's really good against Spiral, but it's certain hand traps like against certain matchups. So these cards are just like board clears and simplify the game, and you have like inevitability because you summon 50 fusions.
Just as kill Baguska.
Yeah, kill Baguska. Yeah, Baguska's lame. Okay, so I play this sick Link deck. It's Spiral Double Helix, Firewall Dragon, and Proxy Dragon. So these 2 I've never summoned, but these always get cherried. And then this one, speaking of cherry, that guy gets cherry too. So these are my cherry targets, and then this is here because basically all the fusions are not good on your opponent's turn except for Raging and Macabre. So there's this play where if you have a bad fusion on field, let's say I use the Fire Fusion, I can turn any fusion into a Macabre by normal summoning Alistair, turning it into a Proxy Dragon, and then fusing with the Proxy Dragon and the Alistair Grave. It basically turns it into any Macabre. Also, this is Cherry's target, but you actually can summon him. I summoned him once in the tournament because you summon Caliga, summon Alistair, make Baguska, and then you literally just sit on there and hope to never lose. And then Omega, because when you Gamma them and you Omega them, they play with like 2 cards, so you win the game. This is Yamato. This is the best card ever. Basically, you sit on him and you win. The problem against Spiral is Spiral has no card that efficiently attacks over this except for Drone Pump. But if they Drone Pump in battle phase, you just negate it and they die. And yeah, the cool thing about Macabre is like you can let it die. It's not actually like Yamato where if it dies, you struggle to get it back. You get to summon it every turn. So your opponent will like neg super hard to kill it, and then you're like, sure, let it die, and you summon another one. They have to kill 3. These are like the role player. Oh well, here's the Purgatrio, I guess. Game.
2 of them.
Yeah, 2. He comes up a lot, and basically Ash and the Zephyr, you just attack for game. I wanted to play 2 because I always felt like if I ever didn't have it and I needed it, I'd be really upset. And this extra deck is like all fusion, so like it's like I only summon these cards. Like these are my most summoned cards of the game, of the weekend. This guy is because he's really big and he's Earth. He banishes Quick Fix. That's pretty much it. Raging, he's the worst one against Spiral because Spiral Resort is broken and you can't target it. But against every other deck, it's really, really good. Like against Magician, you set the Pendulum Summon monsters, and then against ABC, like fun fact, if you fuse and you summon this and you have Magical Meltdown on the field, you're gonna turn player priority, set the Buster Dragon, and they can't respond because Magical Meltdown is like a Denko Sekka for like when you normal summon or when you fusion summon. And then finally, this is Big Poppy. He outs Sleeper, he outs Boards. When you summon him, like basically what he does is he requires two extra deck monster and any fusion. And when you summon him, he's like a gigantic like trap. Like he banishes everything, and yeah, he's just like a hand trap in itself. He's like a Mega Macabre. Yeah, that's my deck.
Awesome. Did you have any other comments or shout outs today?
Yeah, I have a shout outs to Andy Sang. Andy is the homie. He helped me build this deck. He's awesome. Shout outs to my girlfriend, Janalee. I was going to drop because I went 1-2 and I was really upset and I wanted to leave. I called her and she's like, oh, just went 8 in a row. And that's what happened. I want to thank everybody who let me borrow cards. Thank you for Brian Reyes for letting me borrow like a bunch of stuff. Luis Franco for borrowing a bunch of stuff. Rio Digital Systems, that's my local. Shout out to everybody who play test. For Alex Junaidja, who didn't actually help me, but he wanted a shout out. He copied my deck and did horrible with it. Copied our deck and did horrible with it. And shout out to like Asala, Team Jobber, and everyone who supported me, I guess. I really want to win, and I hope it comes soon.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for the profile. Appreciate it, man.